There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
You'd be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
I'm plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.
And here we are. Welcome to In the Veins. I'm Chris.
And I'm Joe.
Today we're talking about Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead. 1987. 89,
Seven?
8,
It's
7. Limited release
pretty
October
sure it's
14th,
7.
88. Limited release October 14th, 88. Wide release January 13th, 89. Which are not,
Sort of wide release.
I mean,
It got-
they're not fortuitous release dates.
Well,
Let's put it that way.
It got hosed in the release because the company went bankrupt.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. Yes.
Yeah.
This one is Stan Winston's directorial debut. Thank
Yes,
you very
it
much.
is.
The only other film that I could find that he has directing credit on is 1990's A Gnome Named Norm. Norm spelled Gnorm.
Yeah.
Starring Anthony Michael Hall as a cop who partners with a gnome named Norm to stop a crime ring. I saw the still images of it and had
Well,
like,
no. It was to find the crystal that powers the gnome's underground kingdom and stop a crime ring.
like Vietnam level flashbacks when I saw the stills of this movie. Like, this is avoid contact with eyes and ears. Like, it's whew.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, see, the thing is, that company also went bankrupt.
that's what happens.
According to
That's
Stan,
when you make bad movies.
in Stan Winston's own words, he's a curse. You know, Pumpkinhead was awesome, but it didn't really do well until it got a cult following. He decided not to do anything that wasn't like sci-fi or creature related.
Right.
And so he ended up with Norm the Gnome, and that went like on the shelf for 3 years, then straight to video because the company went under.
Yeah.
And he did direct one more thing, and it was Ghosts or something like that. It was Michael Jackson's attempt to relive.
Yes, no, I saw that. It was that was like produced for Disney or something, or like
Something
as a
like that.
kind of supernatural follow up to
Yeah.
Moon Walker Chaser,
Sort of,
Raper?
yeah, but
I don't remember. It's not.
apparently-
It's okay. It's not great, but it's because it's like it's out of Michael's like hottest era.
Apparently the story though involves children wanting to go to this mansion because they get to interact with the ghosts there, but the guy that owns the place, the parents all think is a creep. And then shortly after, all of the allegations came out against Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
And so the curse continued with the Stan Winston directing, and so he stopped. He didn't direct anymore.
I have seen this Michael Jackson Ghosts thing. The music is not the worst I've heard from Michael Jackson. The effects are incredible,
Of course.
which nobody needed to tell you that. But it is ultimately rather forgettable.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, effects wise, it's shocking how many things that are important to us are a result of Stan Winston. I mean,
oh yeah, Stan Winston Studios. Like, I mean, if it was the 80s or 90s and you needed a monkey in your movie, you went to Stan Winston.
Well, I mean, he did The Wiz, he did, but I'm talking like Terminator, Predator, Aliens. He didn't design the
Yes.
original Alien, but James Cameron brought him on for Aliens.
And he
Terminator,
knocked it out of the park.
Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park were what, 1990 and 93,
Mhm.
and the mix of like,
And that's legendary right there. Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park, that's like legendary status.
yeah,
Effects
it's
work.
changing the world of movies. Effects work that, groundbreaking
Absolutely.
CGI mixed with stop motion and practical in a way that holds up now and is better than most of what's coming out now.
It's true.
Like,
It's true. But there's a couple of people who are notables in the industry that are mixed up in this in certain places, and
oh yeah,
I'll try to point them out as we go along. Because the effects officially are listed under Tom Woodruff Jr.
Mhm.
He was one of the effects guys on Aliens, and he's actually one of like the lead aliens
yeah.
in Aliens. Like he was in the suit. Excuse me, super cool guy. But let's dive a little deeper. The screenplay is by Jerry Girani and Mark Patrick Carducci, with a story by Mark Patrick Carducci, Richard Weinman, and Stan Winston, and it is based on a poem by Ed
Like-
Justin.
Poem.
The poem is supposed to be in the movie. When the children, all the dirt children, are taunting the other dirt child about
Yes.
Pumpkinhead.
Oh, they
they're-
do say the thing.
They say the poem, but it's all cacophonous. I don't think you can make it out.
yeah.
So
they just
I have taken the
jumble it all
liberty
up.
of looking it up, and I will read it to you now.
Give it to me, Joe.
Keep away from Pumpkinhead unless you're tired of living. His enemies are mostly dead. He's mean and unforgiving. Laugh at him and you're undone, but in some dreadful fashion. Vengeance he considers fun and plans it with a passion. Time will not erase or blot a plot that he has brewing. It's when you think that he's forgot, he'll conjure your undoing. Bolted doors and windows barred, guard dogs prowling in the yard, won't protect you in your bed, nothing will, from Pumpkinhead. Ooh.
If he's coming for you.
And Stan Winston heard that poem and said, like, that's a movie.
Well, they tried to get him to do the effects, and he read the script and was like, "Hey, I want to direct a movie. Let me do this one."
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, whatever.
Well, and he didn't do the effects. I mean, he gave it to his team and was like,
Yeah, because Tom Woodruff was one of his guys.
"Yeah." He
and,
said, "I'm the director. You guys are the effects." I mean, he was still approving everything, and
I mean, he's there.
but he wasn't sculpting and molding and building
Yeah.
the stuff.
He's too busy pointing and telling people where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read the stuff about it, and they go on and on about how it only cost $3 million to make this thing, and how it is like sort of a miracle of low budget movie making, and
Sure.
and it's great and all, but Stan Winston had access to his studio for effects.
Yes, he wasn't like. That's the
It-
thing is like you look at like Star Wars and like they built Lucasfilm
Yeah.
for the production of Star Wars.
It got established in the process, but Winston, if there was any budgetary issues, he could just be like, "Nah, we're gonna do that anyway." You know?
Yeah, I mean, like he doesn't have to build buy ovens to
Yeah.
bake latex. He doesn't have to do any of that. He has the team. Everything is already done and assembled and ready to rock.
Yeah, and if any of the FX guys are like, "Oh, but we're also working on this other project," he can just be like, "No, you're not. It's not."
Oh,
what we're
ask your
doing today.
your shop supervisor. I'm your shop supervisor. No. uh, so okay, I have a laundry list of people that's starting because there are a lot of characters in this. Not all
There
of them
are.
important to note the distinction between, but they're there. First and foremost, Lance Henriksen as Ed Harley. Jeff East as Chris, John DeQuino as Joel, Carrie Ramson as Maggie, Cynthia Bain as Tracy, Kimberly Ross as Kim, Joel Hoffman as Steve, and Flourish Schnaufer as Haggis the Witch.
I love
Uh,
Haggis the Witch.
Budget is listed as $3.5 million. It's pretty much $3 million. Gross was listed as a little over $4.38 million, but that doesn't take into account home video, which this crushed it.
Yeah, it did great on home video, and it's got a bunch of sequels I haven't seen, but I think they were all straight to video.
So I was looking at this just before we started. Part 2 came out about 4 years later.
Yeah.
And then it was the early aughts or the mid aughts that they did 2 more.
Yeah.
Ashes to Ashes and then part 4 Blood Wings.
I'm guessing that it came out on like some special edition DVD and got a second wind, and so they.
Yeah, I think they're all listed as like TV movies or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing them because I'm a completist.
Yeah, I've been a fan of this movie and seen it a ton of times, but I really am only just now interested in watching the sequels. It's always been enough. It's always been enough for me standalone. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
know
it's-
that, like, it's to me like Stan Winston is a fucking god, and this is like,
Sure.
this is the Stan Winston directed this movie, and he's
Right.
so important to all the things that I love about movies
Sure.
that this is just sort of like a little one and only for me. And I'll watch the others, but I'll
Once and probably never again.
once and probably never again. I'm not going
I-
to pay for them. I'm going to watch them if I can find them for free.
Well, I think they're all on like Tubi or whatever the free
Oh, there you
streaming
go.
apps are. Yeah, I don't. I know that I saw that that Lance Henriksen appears in parts 3 and 4, I believe,
Mm.
as Ed Harley. So that's interesting, considering he dies in this one.
He becomes,
Spoiler alert.
but Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
It
know. I
doesn't.
don't.
The movie's 40
Doug
years.
Bradley, I believe, appears in part 3, so that's at least fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't. I don't expect much from the sequels. There are like I said, there's a lot of characters in this because you have Ed Harley, and then as the kind of protagonist-ish
Yeah.
type of person, and then you have it's a slasher. It's a monster slasher.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just
Cabin
you
in the
just
Woods.
and you just have 6 city folk that are just lined up as victims. And
And then all the hillbillies.
well, the dirt children that come along. But they're not victims. They're just characters.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them though. And that even in my notes, I'm not going to get the names right on all these characters every single time because that was something that bothered me about it was they don't seem to say people's names a lot in this
Yeah.
script.
Yeah.
They kind of like they push past it a lot. To be fair, it's very naturalistic dialogue because you don't actually like I don't start every sentence with "Hey, Chris."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think we needed something to establish who these frickin' people were. Besides like Maggie and Joel the jerk. But it's fine. As it is, a bunch of my notes, my raw notes were just like Lance because I couldn't remember his name was Ed.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. Let's get into the film
let's.
itself. So the opening credits, we get there's a cool they're cool looking. And we get like a kind of orange glow effect on the opening credits. And the background starts out black and then it becomes this kind of red flames image behind it. It looks nice. The the soundtrack is an odd mix of like synthesizer kind of 80s generic soundtrack and like jug band elements. It's different enough, but not so different that it stands out.
Well,
I think it functions. Is what I'm saying.
It kind of reminds me of the sort of generic B-movie horror movie soundtracks you get in the 90s, like
for sure.
Movies like Leprechaun and stuff like that, where
functional but not like noteworthy.
We need music, but not expensive music.
Yeah, we just need something in the background just because it looks kind of weird. So we open on a prologue set in 1957, and a young Ed Harley is being cared for by his parents. Well, by his mother. His father is loading a shotgun. And his father kind of goes out and makes sure everything is secure. It seems kind of it's nighttime. It's kind of dark and windy and a little mysterious outside. When he gets inside, he bars the door and everything. Just in time for some guy to come running out of the woods. He's clearly being chased by something. Spoiler alert, it's Pumpkinhead. He ends up on the Harley farm. We have a little jump scare as he hits the ground and he's like crawling along through clearly a cornfield, and he comes upon the scarecrow and he freaks himself out a little bit. Fun little jump scare. I always like that. And he eventually gets to their door and he's banging on the door begging for help, and they're just like, yeah, no, we can't help him. There is no helping this guy. And then he sees something and he kind of weasels away. And young Ed Harley looks out the window and catches a glimpse of, it's an outline, so it's clearly the alien from Aliens killing the guy. I mean, I don't want to shit on the character design, but like the outline of the body is like,
yeah, the silhouette is very,
very, very, very, very.
Well, really, it's got better limbs, like. It's got the triple jointed legs and the big clawed hands, and
it's got like those kind of creature demonic hand, like I think it's like a 3-fingered hand or something.
Yeah. I actually think that in wide shots it holds up better than the Xenomorph because I've always been disappointed. Alien is a brilliant movie, a classic. I love it. The final shot of the alien spinning off into space and it has human proportioned arms and legs.
Yeah.
Is so much scarier when it's curled up in something in the dark, half seen, just its face.
And I mean, that was a big selling point. That was a big thing that Ridley Scott in making Alien was like, I don't want this to look like a guy in a suit. Let's do absolutely everything we can to not look like a guy in a suit.
And they did great until that final shot.
I mean, it bit him in his ass with that because it's like, ultimately it is a guy in a suit and there's very little you can do when you're revealing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas with this, I feel like they were like, okay, it's a guy in a suit. Let's make it look cool.
Yeah.
And
And so they did, they
Yeah.
put it on stilts. They made the
Right.
legs like clearly animal, and
Right. Very bestial legs, but still got
Yeah.
the tail. It's got like the shoulder, like
yeah, the kind of bony
extended shoulder
protrusions.
bones. But yeah,
And it's got the
Uh,
extended cranium,
banana
just
head.
different. It's not a banana head as much as a pumpkin head.
Kind of.
They made it
Uh,
rounder.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. And it's, I mean, like, for somebody like me who's and you, of course, who's very familiar with the alien design, it's clearly
Yeah.
not the alien. But like that first silhouette shot is just like, that's the alien.
Well, and it's
Um,
also, I mean, again, like you said, the guys that built this thing worked on Aliens for James Cameron, and Stan Winston directed second unit on Aliens.
So yeah.
And I mean, that should happen. I showed you my stupid spaceship model that is very clearly a Star Trek thing.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
there are only so many elements that you can mix around and still have something that's intimidating and
Yeah, but I mean, I was just
and
playing Tinker Toys
original.
with PVC pipe,
yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that looks cool. And I was like, yeah, I've been watching too much Strange New Worlds.
Well, that's also that's probably a
You
big
know?
contributing factor. But yeah, not for nothing, but it's fine. I think that the creature design is fine. For something like this where it is a creature feature,
Yeah,
everything hinges on that. And I think
Yeah.
they did such a great job with the creature's face
yeah.
and head.
Yeah.
that I think it's cool. And
So
a lot of
good
shots
that-
aren't. Sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. It's so good that it's clearly an inspiration for Sam and Trick or Treat.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Oh, for sure.
it's a very close look.
Trick or Treat, the
Trick or
movie
Treat.
we're doing next.
We are doing that next.
But yeah, now it's the thing is too is that we don't actually get a lot of wide shots of the creature. There's this shot in the beginning where we just get the silhouette, and then
Yeah.
some shots at the end, towards the end of the confrontation of it. But mostly we see the face, the claws.
Yeah. And when you do get a
and-
wide shot, it's mostly a silhouette. It's oh, he's here,
Right. It's super quick. But anyway, so then we cut to present day, and Ed is all grown up and is now played by Lance Henriksen. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I
And
love
he
Lance
is
Henriksen.
he is using a flamethrower to burn trash. That is foreshadowing. Meanwhile, Ed's son Billy is playing with a dog. Billy is very young, and he has glasses and looks a little goofy little kid-ish.
Mm.
I mean, he's not like goofy, but like he's at that goofy, awkward age where all little boys are kind of goofy.
He's clearly a sweet kid.
Yeah,
And-
you're at that age. You're either a sweet kid or a bully, and he's not
Yeah.
a bully.
Not a bully.
So, it's fine. And then Ed has a nice father-son moment with them, like washing off their hands and stuff. It's clear they have a very sweet relationship. They're very it's very loving and whatnot. They go inside the house, and it's clear that it's just those two. There's no mom in the situation.
Yeah.
And then they have
And their house is like one room.
yeah,
like,
it's
The beds
they're-
are over there, the table's over here, and that's
these
it.
are poor subsistence farmers
Yeah.
somewhere in rural America.
Yeah,
um,
it's never made specific, but it's a very Appalachian vibe, especially once they start getting up into
Yeah.
the like the hills and hollers and the
Yeah.
mythology of the
It's
the
fine.
monster
It's-
and stuff.
yeah.
But
It's so then they have a little moment where Ed asks for like a story time and or not Ed, Billy. It'd be weird if Ed asked Billy for story time. But Billy asks Ed for like story time, and Ed tells him a story about how special Billy is and how he has tremendous hopes for Billy's future, also called foreshadowing.
yeah.
And then Billy gives Ed a necklace that he made with his own goofy little boy hands, and it has a goofy little stick figure on it.
Mhm.
And it's the kind of ugly thing that a small child gives their parent, that a
Honest-
parent then treasures, but that doesn't
Yeah.
make it art, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. But I will give them credit for actually making it look like something a kid made. Hell, they probably
Absolutely.
had a kid make it, because I get real tired of these like movies where I don't know, the kid drew something disturbing and the teacher has to show it to the parents.
Right.
And it's done. It's like a stylized
It's a 3-foot
version.
perspective.
Yeah, it's very clearly drawn by an artist trying to draw like a kid.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
we need it to look cool, but also
We need
in
to be able
crayon.
to see what it is that we're
Yeah.
talking about here.
And so this is straight up. This is like the stupid little fucking Play-Doh Christmas tree ornaments I made when I was a kid that my parents still hang up.
Yeah.
So
So there it is. Yeah, they're very sweet and wholesome. And then we cut to our pseudo antagonist. It's the cannon fodder. Two
Yeah.
vehicles coming down a road. There's a truck with 4 people in it. Chris, Maggie, Tracy, and Steve, and they're hauling dirt bikes. I believe that's who they are. Like I said, like these characters, there's not a lot of differentiation between them, and there's fucking
No.
6 of them. I do know coming in the sports car is Joel, and he has a female with him who may be Kim. Kim and Tracy, I'm fuzzy on which one is which. I'm not entirely sure that
Joel's
Steve.
the bad guy. I mean,
Joel is the bad guy. I'm not entirely sure Steve's name isn't Kevin. I don't know. It's not really important though.
there's
they
Joel,
are-
and then there's not Joel 1 and
Well-
Joel's brother.
So there's Joel, there's Steve, who's Joel's brother, and then there's the third guy.
Then there's
Who's
sweater guy.
yeah, and then each of them have a girlfriend. One of them is Maggie, and it's not Joel's girlfriend.
Okay.
That's all I know. It doesn't matter.
It
though, 'cause
doesn't.
they're-
It really
because they're
doesn't.
just lining. We're just lining them. We're lining cans up to take some shots. You know
They're
what I mean?
all gonna pay for Joel being a dick.
It's true. Joel demonstrates his callousness by drinking a beer while driving. And he's just like so lazy, he won't even like get at him. He's like, "Babe, get me a beer out the back," while I pull into like oncoming traffic lane to pass our friends in my little sports car. Like, you're going to the same place. Why are you passing him?
Yeah.
Why are you drinking beer? What possible, like, calm down, bro. You're not even going for like a party weekend. You're going to ride dirt bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Joel's a dick. So then we go back to Ed Harley. And they pull Ed Harley and his son pull into Ed Harley and son, the grocery extravaganza shopping experience. The little grocery store that Ed Harley and his runs. And it's the best place to get killed and eaten in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so Ed and Billy show up, and Ed directs Billy to water the produce because everything is covered in about a half inch of dust here. And he can't be bothered to do it himself. So then the kids in the truck, one of the women, I wish I could say which one. I honestly have no idea at this point. She has a camera, which back then we had cameras, Chris. They weren't just phones. They were separate creations.
And you could take like 25 pictures and you had to
It's
change
wild.
the film.
It's insane.
You had to
I
wind
can't believe we were raised this way. It's inhuman. What? You have an example? Look at that piece of shit.
proper 35 millimeter.
Throw it away.
I can't even remember how to open it if I'm being honest.
There should be a switch on the one side that pops the whole back
Yeah,
thing
there
open.
should be.
Okay, you have to put it away. I'm getting too
Yeah.
fascinated by it. Meanwhile, the kids in the truck see some poor hillbilly bastard walking along the side of the road, and the woman who has the camera is like, "I want to take a picture of him. He's perfect." Like, you pieces of shit, you were just asking for it at this point. And it just shows their attitudes about like as tourists in this space.
Yeah.
Like, they're not respecting these people in their way of life.
How
and their
quaint. Poor
struggles.
people.
Oh, look, it's a dirty person. Let's take a photograph of it on our camera that's worth more than his house.
True.
So soon enough, both vehicles arrive at the Harley and Son grocery extravaganza shopping experience store. And the dog in this is Ed Harley and Billy's dog. That is Mushroom. That is the dog that the year before was Billy's dog in Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the many, hey, it's that guy in this movie. The dog barks at them, and then it turns out it's friendly because the dog is a bad judge of character, as it turns out. The dog should be biting these people. And that was when I found out that the two carloads of people actually know each other.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be strangers at first and dislike each other. That was interesting. Joel, demonstrating his dickishness, immediately makes fun of Billy's glasses because he has a choice in seeing. Such a, oh God. And then everybody else is like, dude, he's a small child in glasses. It didn't matter like how thin the lenses were for Billy. They were going to look like freaking like
Goggles.
They're going to look like goggles on his tiny face because he's so tiny. Ease up, Joel, you dick. And then Joel is like, I can't be standing still, apparently, for a long period of time. So he
the amount
decides
of time it takes to go into a store and buy snacks.
So he gets his dirt bike off of the trailer that the truck is hauling, and he's just like, he's got to ride, man. He's a wild man. He can't go 55.
He needs to be free, Joe.
He needs to be free. It is about this time that, look, I don't know what their name is in the movie. I called them the Dirt Family because the dirt truck with all the dirt children and the dirt man pull up. And they're about, I don't know, between 5 and 3 million of these dirt children. I couldn't track it. And one of the dirt children makes fun of the other dirt child for not knowing what a camera is. And the female with the camera, again, I wish I knew her name. It could be any of them at this point.
Sure.
We'll call her Tracy. We'll say it's Tracy. Is it Maggie?
Okay.
Who knows? Who cares? It's Tracy now. Tracy wants to take a picture of the child with her camera because filthy children are adorable. And so then the children are taunting each other, and this leads to the dirt children to taunt the other dirt child about Pumpkinhead. This is when they say the poem. Theory, but they're all kind of on different meters. And so they're also like speaking, it's like a cacophony. You can't understand a single word they're saying until they all end on Pumpkinhead.
It's a shark attack.
Right. And but it makes it, what does make clear is that Pumpkinhead is some kind of like a local boogeyman figure.
Right.
And the kids are like, Pumpkinhead's not real and stuff like that. And Ed Harley's like, oh, if you only frickin' knew what I knew. I saw it eat a guy. And the camera girl is just has to stop the children from taunting the other dirt child. She can't take it. I think she was traumatized.
She's very
as a
sensitive.
child.
In fact, later she's basically useless after.
Is that Maggie then?
I think so. The inciting incident pretty much ruins her.
She's the one that's like traumatized, and they like throw a blanket over her, and she's just like, okay, so that is Maggie. Okay, great. Then there's even less delineation between the other female characters. I swear to God.
Yeah, I mean, there's Joel's girlfriend and not Joel's girlfriend.
Joel's girlfriend, I'm pretty sure, is Kim, and the other one is Tracy.
Wait, Maggie is with Sweater Guy, right?
Yes? No. Yes. No.
Get it.
Because Sweater Guy's the tall guy with the blocky head, right? He's the one that gets locked in the closet.
No. Yeah. Because it's not his brother.
But it's not Maggie that gets locked in them with him because Maggie doesn't need to be locked up because she's already like comatose at that point.
Right.
I can't believe we have to dissect this hard.
Anyway,
let's just keep going. It turns out that Ed is talking to the dirt farmer man, and it turns out that Ed has forgotten the dirt farmer's feed at his place. So they make an arrangement that he will go and get the feed and deliver it to the dirt farmer because that's what country folk do for each other. They look out for each other. So Joel, who we reveal is Steve's brother, is showing off on his dirt bike, and Steve just like can't take it. He sees Joel having so much fun. He has to get the dirt bike down, and he has to ride.
He's got to get in there.
He has dirt bike blue balls. And then as they're doing that, Ed tells Billy, hey, watch over the place. I'm going to go get the feed from home.
Yeah.
Which is a bad idea. I could have told him it was a bad idea. Just close and lock the door and just take the kid with you. Why
Seriously.
Why go through the rigmarole of getting the feed, then coming back to the store to pick up the kid?
One of those things that he's probably done a million times. Like,
I assume. So Ed leaves, and the dog immediately runs outside, and Billy chases after it. The dog is chasing after the dirt bikes. You know where this is going.
Yeah, and Maggie starts chasing after the little boy, but she is the slowest adult I've ever seen chase a child.
I don't have any explanations for
And
this.
she just keeps yelling, "Little boy!"
little boy, and he's just not. He's not listening.
Yeah.
So then Steve manages to like crash out without hitting the kid.
Yeah.
Joel is not so fortunate.
Well, because they come jumping over a
Right.
hill.
And Joel just completely plows into the child.
Yeah.
He's like, my bike over you, kid. Sorry.
Yeah. Wrecks
And-
his
and-
shit.
Crushes it and just like mortally wounds the kid. We don't see the kid move a lot after this, so it's pretty messed
No.
up. And this is it's interesting because things take a turn. And this is really interesting to me is like the style of the film shifts at this point.
Yeah.
And it becomes this like it goes handheld. It's very cinema verte. It's got a lot of there's a lot more like close-ups where like
Mhm.
following characters around and stuff as we all just kind of panic because a child has just been grievously injured.
Yeah.
It adds a lot of weight to the moment actually.
It
It's
does.
very interesting.
Well, it gives it that general vibe of like the adrenaline of a crisis.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
It conveys it very well. Joel is freaked out by the whole thing, and he's like, "I can't. I got to get out of here."
But
I
not
just
because
killed a
he
child."
feels bad about killing
No.
a child.
No, it is very expressly not that. At no point is it that. He's like, "I can't. I just killed a kid. They're gonna shoot
Yeah.
me in the face."
He
And
says
he just drives off.
because he's been drinking and he's already got a DUI.
Yeah, he has a
like,
prior and all that, and he's like, "They're
Yeah.
gonna throw the book at me." And it's like, "Yeah, they should. You killed
Yeah.
a kid."
Yeah, I'm a real piece of shit, and that's a problem right now. So I gotta go.
Also, like, just running away from it is not going to help anything. It's not like there's a shitload of people around to blame it on.
Yeah. And if anybody tried to blame it on anybody there except maybe his brother, they'd all be like, "Nah, it's Joel."
No, it's Joel, like, very clearly.
Totally Joel.
So Steve is like, "Okay, everybody else, just go to the cabin and try to get help. You know, there's a phone at the cabin. Call for help. I will stay here with Billy
Mm-hmm.
and look out for him." Ed comes back to pick up Billy, and he kind of looks around a bit before Steve like flags him down to his son's dead body, and he is appropriately sad
Mm-hmm.
and quite angry, and he kind of just scoops the kid up and without saying anything, just sort of glaring at Steve, drives off. Meanwhile, at the cabin, one of the girl. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It struck me on this viewing how good a scene that actually is because it's so like fucking awkward. Steve doesn't know how to behave.
Yes. And he's like
And-
trying to like pick up the glasses and hand
Yeah,
him
and
the
hand them
glasses,
to
and
him
he's
like he
He's
doesn't.
like, "You're so useless. You have nothing you can do.
He's
You have
never been
nothing
in
you
the
can help this
presence
man with."
of this kind
Right.
of like
It's
grief
tremendously
and
effective.
trouble, and
It's
yeah.
and it's not, and not only that, but like he has to like he sees Ed looking around for Billy at the store, and he's some distance off with Billy, and he's like, "I have to actually like get
Yeah,
him to come."
and it's
over
kind of
here.
a weak little like
Hey,
like
you're not gonna want to hear this.
it's over here.
This is gonna piss you. This is really gonna piss you off.
And he tries to say it's an accident, and Ed just gives him the like meanest fucking
Yeah, like
look.
what? Like there's
Just-
nothing you can say to the guy.
Yeah.
Like there is just nothing, and appropriately there is nothing he says. You're right. It has a tremendous emotional impact. It's interesting in a film like this that like in a film where we're killing off people left and right by via vengeance demon. Excuse me. It's interesting that this single death is treated with so much weight and gravitas.
Well, I mean, it makes sense though. This kicks off
Yeah.
everything. I mean, you
Everything.
need to believe that it's worth it to Ed Harley to pay any price
Yes.
to get his vengeance, and
Yeah.
you do. You buy it.
Yeah. No. I don't think there's ever a moment where I was like, "Really, dude?" And like, no, he was.
Yeah.
If anything, he wasn't doing it. He didn't do enough. Like he could have done more.
yeah.
So meanwhile at the cabin, somebody gets to the cabin. I think this might be.
Well, Joel got there first with his
Joel
girlfriend.
and Kim get there.
and then
Kim
not
goes to.
Steve and Maggie get there.
Yeah, and somebody goes to call the authorities, and Joel just like literally rips the phone cord out of the
Mhm.
wall. Like, no, and that's when he talks about he has priors and all this, and Kevin / whatever the other guy's name is, he's like, "I'm gonna go get help, and I'm gonna do this," and Joel knocks him out.
Yeah. Locks him up.
Yep, and they locks him in a closet. And meanwhile, and then Steve gets there and tells them, "Oh man, Ed was pissed." I mean, obviously, like it's like, what else can you say? Give me a moment here. That's better. So, thank you. Ed goes. So then we go back to Ed. Ed has gone to the dirt farmers, and he wants the witch. He wants haggis. The head dirt farmer won't give the info up because he's like, it's not worth it. I don't know what you're feeling. No, but, and this was interesting too. I think that the lead head dirt farmer guy,
Right.
I believe he is actually the grandfather.
Yeah,
And-
I think so.
So the guy who's actually Bunt is the dirt child's name. I found
Mhm.
out recently. Bunt's dad is played by an actor who went by the name Richard Warlock. If that name sounds familiar, it should. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
If that name sounds familiar, it should. It is, it's the, I believe it may be the only credit that Dick Warlock has using his full first name of Richard Warlock. Dick Warlock, famous stuntman, stunt coordinator.
Oh,
He was a stunt coordinator on this. He was, hang on. I got to get the name right. He is, Kurt Russell's stuntman, like, body double for like 25 years. Hugely famous in the industry, tremendously talented stuntman. And this is one of the few times when he actually gets his face on screen. And in a weird little kind of like putting on airs thing, he went by Richard instead of Dick. And if the name Dick Warlock doesn't sound fucking amazing to you, then you just don't know stunts. I'm sorry.
you don't have to know stunts to think that Dick Warlock is an amazing name.
That's true. And if that name doesn't stick in your freaking head, man. So anyway, Dick Warlock's son, Bunt, like the grandfather guy, the dirt farmer won't give up the information, but Bunt meets up with Ed as he's pulling away and says, I know where to find haggis. I can tell you how to get there. And Ed makes him kind of come with him, and he's like, fine, I'll go halfway, but I'm not going all the way because she's scary.
Well, it's an opportunistic thing. He makes him pay him for it.
Right. He tries to pay the dirt farmer for it, and he's like, you can keep your money.
Yeah.
And so we got to a spooky, foggy road, and Bunt has hit his traveling distance. He's like, okay, I'm not going any further. The rest of this is on your own. Go straight. You'll see a cabin. It's obviously a witch's cabin. You'll be fine.
It is so obvious. In fact, I'll say every physical structure in this entire movie would be right at home in The Evil Dead.
Yeah. I have no doubts. Yeah. So Ed gets to the witch's cabin, and it is the most witch cabin-y looking cabin I've ever seen. It's covered in it's a tremendous set. It is out of a fairy tale. The whole everything with Haggis the Witch is immaculate in my eyes. It is so good.
It's incredible. The lighting inside the cabin.
Oh my god, the lighting is so incredible. Like
the swamp that it's sitting on, and
the cabin is covered with it looks like it grew out of the ground. It's covered in roots and moss.
If it stood up on chicken legs and started walking around, you wouldn't be surprised.
It's true. It's a witch's cabin. And then Ed goes in, and that's a fucking witch. The amount of lines they got on this, and it's the Haggis the Witch is mostly lit in silhouette from behind, and the amount of lines and stuff that they got into her face, it's really incredible. She's really out of a storybook. I really love it. So he's hauling Billy's body around, and the witch tells him she can't raise the dead, so she's out of luck. And Ed's like, I don't want you to raise the dead. I want the demon. And he produces a small sack of gold coins.
Yes,
which is that's
they're
different.
they're not actually gold coins. They're silver dollars. And And as part of his preparation for the role, Lance Henriksen himself traveled around to every pawn shop and thrift store that he could and collected all of those silver dollars himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
It's a neat little thing because it's very storybook. You have to pay the witch the way that you pay a witch.
Coins,
That's how we do things. So Ed wants the demon, and the witch is like, okay. And she gives him directions to a graveyard in Razorback Holler, and says once you get there, go into the graveyard. You'll know which one. Dig it up. And he's like, how will I know? And she's like, oh, you'll know. You'll know. You'll know, buddy. So Ed goes there, and the graveyard is really neat. There's all these like, I mean, there's kind of typical dilapidated graveyard shit around, tombstones and whatnot, but then there's also like these very bare like stick structures with the like skeletal remains like laid down across them above him.
Yes.
Almost like a suspended cemetery or something. It's above ground cemetery. It's
There's something sort of, I don't know. I don't know if like indigenous or tribal is the right word that I'm looking for, but it's not.
Definitely like
ritualistic.
Ritualistic, otherworldly certainly applied. It definitely doesn't feel like this is an ordinary graveyard.
No.
By any shape or means, and it seems very purposeful and, like you said, ritualistic. And then eventually he comes to, there's a pumpkin patch in the graveyard, and then in the middle of the pumpkin patch there's just this raised column of dirt.
It's tree trunk.
There's kind of a tree growing out of it. It
reminds me very much of where the Headless Horseman's buried in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, that's fair. It's about 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So Ed has to like climb up it and then dig into it. And it's very clearly it's the grave of something immensely evil. And then when he digs in, he finds a kind of shriveled inhuman corpse. As
almost fetal but big.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he almost passes out in a kind of mystical way. He's overcome by something. Cut back to the cabin, and not much is happening because Joel is still a dick. But now we're worried about Maggie because she's like gone kind of comatose. We're putting a blanket around Maggie, maybe finding her something like warm to drink. Seeing a child die really messed her up. Who'd have thought that would that would do that?
It was hard on her.
It was, for her, it was really difficult. Ed shows up back at the witch and with the corpse in his hands, which I suppose there's nice symmetry there. First he shows up with his son Billy in his hands.
Yeah.
Now he's cradling this demonic corpse, which is very childlike and all kind of, like you said, fetal position, like balled up. And the witch tells him that the demon that the Pumpkinhead is a demon of vengeance. And she pulls out a knife and she has a bowl and she goes around and she cuts Ed's hand and drains some blood out of him. And then I noticed, I saw this in the trivia that she kind of goes and is like looking around and waving her hands around and then goes to Billy's body and cuts his hand and drains some blood out of him. And they said like, that wasn't like her doing something mystical, like waving her hands around. Literally, the context didn't let her see out of one
She's
eye.
blind, and
she literally couldn't see what she was looking for. So it just took her a second, and they just kept the cameras rolling. And like, it looks kind of mystical. I like it. So you don't
question what this woman does.
I mean, it's the witch haggis. I don't know what you want. So then she takes the blood and kind of pours it over the demon's like face and in its mouth. And very quickly, actually, it resurrects. It kind of starts to move and stretch, and
it's like those little dinosaur pills when you drop them in water.
Yes, yes, and it kind of just fills out, and then suddenly, like a 7-foot tall demon standing there.
Yeah. It's really nice first reveal where he just stands up and he's towering over her.
Exactly, and what I appreciate is how brief it is. We don't have like, this is not Frank rebuilding his body in Hellraiser. Like, this is a very rapid sequence. It's like, it is now. This is happening.
And it's, got to be budgetary. They couldn't do a big transformation sequence. It's not American Werewolf in London.
No, and it serves to it serves to accelerate the plot to a certain degree, because like, if we got 6 of these city folks here, we got to get to some work, get some work done. So I just appreciate that, like, because like every movie has a transformation sequence like that. You know what I mean? Like,
and we've already been through the process of Ed finding her and going to get it.
That's true.
Like,
we've already had a lot of business getting there.
We've been on the journey, and now we've got Pumpkinhead.
Now we got Pumpkin. Let's make it fucking happen.
Well, yeah.
Ed passes out as the demon kind of resurrects. Like, he just passes, like, faints and drops.
Yeah.
And then when he wakes up, he comes to. Haggis tells him, it's done. You can go now. Like, that's all there is to it. And so Ed scoops up I know he doesn't scoop up. He's like, she's like, Billy has to stay here. And he goes back into his truck and he's driving home and he hallucinates Billy is still alive.
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously not doing really well.
Well, this was that was the specific scene that when he was reading it convinced Lance Henriksen to do the movie. Billy's sitting up and asking him, Daddy, what did you do?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff. And then the slaughter begins.
Yes.
At the cabin, Maggie kind of just in her weird comatose state just sort of gets up and wanders outside. Meanwhile, Ed goes to his wife's grave and buries Billy. Oh, he did take Billy with him.
Yeah, he did
at that
take
point.
Billy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He buries Billy and he promises his dead wife revenge. Back to Maggie, and Maggie is out of it. Steve finds her and he tries to talk to her, but then he gets attacked by Pumpkinhead. And Ed, meanwhile, has like a seizure essentially and sees through Pumpkinhead's eyes.
Yeah.
Gets flashes of the attack.
Well, and he was warned there'd be a terrible price, but he didn't ask what it would be. I think, the assumption is of my immortal soul or some shit like that.
Yeah. You'll be responsible for the death of 6 people.
Yeah.
At the cabin, Joel has decided he's going to turn over a new leaf. You know what? I am going to take the rap for this. Let's get the authorities. And he lets the Kevin and Tracy out of the closet. And Joel and Kevin, I'm just going to call him Kevin. I don't care.
That's fair.
They go out to find Maggie and stuff. And Joel brings a gun because that's what you do when you're contrite. Maggie finds them and insists that the devil took Steve away.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Ed gets some whiskey out. That's important. He's dealing with these visions, the girls who are left behind, which is,
I mean, he's had a day,
Yeah.
It's
it's only going to get longer, baby.
Drink.
Tracy and Kim, they arm themselves in the cabin. They arm themselves with kitchen knives. Kevin and Joel find some bloody remnant of Steve. I'm not sure if it's like clothing or a intestine. It makes it clear to them that Steve is not well. Possibly dead. And they start to head back to the cabin. Maggie decides she doesn't want to live without Steve. So she goes running outside and Pumpkinhead kind of dangles Steve off the edge of the roof of the cabin. Like it's just there and it's just waiting for them to come outside. Not because it needs to, but just to fuck with them.
Well,
and
it becomes clear through the movie that he's not just like a mindless killing machine. He's
purposeful.
And he fucks with people. Like
he's intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
So he dangles Steve off the roof at them, and then Maggie is grabbed by Pumpkinhead and kind of whisked away.
Yeah, he loves snatching people up into the air.
It is his thing. It's his thing. And Ed gets a vision of Maggie essentially being tortured, like Pumpkinhead like carves a cross into her face with his claw. It's fun.
It's actually her picture on IMDb.
I know.
Her screaming with the Pumpkinhead claw.
Kevin and Tracy run off into the night to try to find Maggie. They find Steve. Steve is very much so dead.
Oh, so dead.
Yeah, he's extra dead. And then Joel and Kim mourn Steve, as you do.
Yeah. It was Joel's brother.
Yes. Oh well, yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. I mean, this is a guy who ran over a child with a dirt bike and was like, I gotta think of me.
And Joel's new leaf isn't just out of nowhere. I mean, it's a little fast, but it is because Steve finally stops putting up with his shit and protecting him and tells him to get his life together. Like, grow the fuck up,
That's true. So Ed is having trouble with everything, and he goes back to Haggis the Witch, and he says, like, I gotta stop this. And the witch is like, you're having trouble? It'll pass. Don't worry about it. Get your vengeance, big boy. And Ed's like, I know, we got to stop this. And she's like, no, there's no way. It's not possible. This is why I told you that it would be a cost,
Every single person that you've spoken to since your kid died told you this was a bad idea. And you wanted to do it anyway.
And then you did it.
Live with it. Like,
yep. Pumpkinhead uses Maggie to taunt Joel and Kim through the cabin window. It's very cute. It's very good. He like holds her up to the window and stuff. And then he kind of just like throws her into the window. She's like half hanging out of the window.
He just like shoves her through.
He's just like, ah, fuck you guys. Joel grabs a machete. I don't know where he got the machete from. Unclear. He grabs a machete and goes outside to challenge Pumpkinhead to a fight. Then Joel comes back inside, where he finds Kim on the floor, and then Pumpkin comes out and grabs Kim. And then Joel attacks Pumpkinhead, and Pumpkinhead wins. Is essentially and he drags Kim away.
He's a pretty good fighter, that Pumpkinhead.
Yeah. So then Kevin, Joel, and Tracy are they meet up in the woods just in time to see Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's like on the top of a tree, holding Tracy up, or holding Kim up, I believe by her head.
Yeah.
And he kind of just is like, "Hey guys," and then throws her down, and she lands on a rock.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 or 30 feet. Yeah. And she's just like, it's like, oh, okay. she's she's dead. So they run. They run, and Ed finally shows up. He finds some of the city folk bodies, and he's like, I gotta do something, I guess. The city folk all run through. They're running through the woods.
Consequences of my actions.
Oh, yes. They're running through the woods, and they come across a random house, and which is actually the dirt farmers. Wallace's, maybe? I don't know. And they're banging on the doors. It's a repeat of the prologue. Like they won't open up because there's nothing they can do.
Well, except get their own families killed.
Exactly.
Don't get in the way is the message.
Pretty much, because it's made clear, like, the demon will only kill the people that he's been summoned to kill, and anybody that tries to prevent him from killing those people. It's
going to run its course. You can make it take longer, but
you can put yourself in the way, or you can not put yourself in the way.
Yeah.
Like, these are the this is what it is. They keep running, because the demon is in hot pursuit, and they come across a random guy who has a shotgun and a dog. That's his deal. And he's like, get the fuck off my property. You're bringing a vengeance demon onto my property. And they're like, you have to help us. And he's like, no, I can shoot you. I have a gun and a dog. Pumpkinhead shows up, and the random guy is like, this isn't worth it. And just runs away. He drops his gun. He leaves his dog, and he just bolts. Ed shows up, and he shoots at Pumpkinhead. And Pumpkinhead actually goes down. And again, Evil Dead, it's a trick. Get an axe.
It's a trick.
Joel goes in and gets I believe he picks up the random guy's like rifle, and he goes for a headshot, and which, to be fair, always double tap.
Yeah.
And he gets the headshot, and then Pumpkinhead just gets back up.
Yeah.
And then it runs Joel through with the rifle.
Yes. It's a great death. It's
super brutal. Anytime somebody's run through with something that is not a
sharp
implement, like that's pretty intense, guys. And then the random guy's dog is just freaking out, I guess, at this point, and it bites Ed. And when it bites Ed, Pumpkinhead reacts as though it bit him.
Yeah,
which is like, ha, they are linked. So Kevin and Tracy are the only two city folk that are left. That's what I'm going with right now.
They're also, the most innocent of the crew. Like
they were the least involved with the child's
they were just
death.
Trying to buy chips for the drive or some shit. But when
so they run. They're the only ones left. They run. Meanwhile in the Wallace's dirt farmer's house, the family is talking about. They talk about Pumpkinhead. This is when we get the information, like exactly what Pumpkinhead's modus operandi is, and Kevin and Tracy get back to that house, and they bang on the door, and it's just no fucking dice. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Bunt is his sister catches him sneaking out. He's like, I'm gonna try to help people, and she's like, it will kill you. Like, why? And she's like, for a fact there's nothing you can do. And he's like, I'm gonna help people.
He's got a slingshot in his back pocket. He's gonna be fine.
He got kicked by a horse. He comes outside, and he grabs Kevin and Tracy, and he's like, I'll lead you somewhere safe. And he leads them off into the darkness. Why not? What have they got to lose? Ed, meanwhile,
nobody else is willing to do anything for them. So.
I mean, like literally, what have they got? Like, meanwhile, Ed pulls the rifle out of the remains of Joel. And so we see that. That's great.
Yeah, not just gonna
Um,
leave that behind.
It's a rifle. It's good. It's still good.
Yeah.
Just wipe the schmutz off. Um, I believe I just imagine like a tube of Joel meat in the rifle barrel. Like you just put it upside down and it's like like a worm of Joel flesh.
Play-Doh toy.
Just comes sliding out of it. A poop worm of Joel's belly. Anyway, the dirt child's Bunt. Oh, God, Bunt takes the Kevin and Tracy to it's a dilapidated church, but dilapidated is not a strong enough word.
It's just like the frame. Like
it's like if it's like a church set in a dream ballet in a high school musical production. It is like there are a couple of frames and random boards in places. There's the whisperest, like you could walk in a straight line through the building without hitting anything.
And there's
but it's
plenty
still
of
there.
mist and lights, like in the woods.
He explains to them that there was once a church here. They tried to make a church. Nobody came to it. And then they stopped using the church, and this is what's left. And he suggests that perhaps Pumpkinhead can't get them because it's hallowed ground.
Yeah.
Just
a guess, really, on his part.
And it's, of course, wrong. He explains more about the nature of Pumpkinhead. And that's when they finally realize, like, oh, because that child died at our hands?
This is the consequence of our actions?
Oh. There's so many. We killed so many children on the way here.
I'd be so pissed if I was them. I'd be like, but Joel's dead now.
We didn't have anything to do with that.
Why isn't this over?
I bought Cheetos, and they were stale. What the fuck? Then Pumpkinhead shows up, and it turns out that Sacred Ground does not stop it at all.
No,
it's just chasing them.
And this is one of those, long shots where you see him in full form walking, and it looks cool. Like
it does,
because you get that sort of panning shot from the side of him coming through the church, like with the frame boards, and
it's like interrupted by what is sad remains of walls are still there. It's very cool. The creature design again, is very cool. It's distinctive enough. I like it. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, even if it is, structurally very much like a xenomorph, it's still just such a well executed suit that when it's moving and walking and stuff, it's just. Well,
it works. Yeah. It works really well. So they run once again. Ed shows up at the dirt farm and he wants their help, and they chase him away with a gun because they're like, "No, you vengeance demon, get away!" The city folk make it back to their vehicles, and it turns out they are trashed.
Yes.
But one of the dirt bikes may be salvageable, so Kevin, like a hero, gets on it to ride away. Pumpkinhead literally appears out of nowhere directly next to him, picks him and the bike up.
Oh, no. The bike doesn't go anywhere, and Pumpkinhead holds up the chain.
That's right.
Pumpkinhead took the fucking chain off of the bike because he fucks with people. He gives you hope, and then he rips it away, and then he fucking kills you.
So he picks up the bike and with Kevin on it.
Yes.
And flings the whole kit and caboodle. And
again, I know I keep going back to just praising the monster probably more than I should.
Right.
But it is also, and again, when he gets fucking Joel with the rifle and lifts him up.
Yes.
So rarely do you believe that the monster is that strong. Like structurally, you believe that he can pick things up.
I don't think it beggars belief at any point. It's the movement is very realistic.
Yeah.
There's not, because sometimes when you get stuff like that, it's like it's using one hand and like the center of balance, the center of gravity is off or something like that.
And he's got such a wide stance that you
physically it does make sense. And I credit that to Tom Woodruff. Woodruff,
100%.
Because it's interesting because Tom Woodruff in the suit, like we said, I said earlier, like Tom Woodruff was like one of the like the hero aliens in Aliens,
right?
One of the hero xenomorphs. But because Alien was shot in such a way where it's like we don't want to reveal a guy in a suit, he didn't really have anything to like base a lot of his performance off of. So anytime that you see aliens moving after the movie Aliens, a lot of how they move is informed by Tom Woodruff's performance.
Well, that makes sense.
Because they have nothing else to fucking go off of.
Yeah.
So
like all the sort of like slithering, crawling.
Like, a lot of it is so he's no slouch in the performance department, which is pretty cool. Okay. Tracy and Bunt run, and they run into Ed. Ed leads him to his truck. Pumpkinhead drags still alive Kevin off for extra murdering. Ed gets Tracy to his house and then works on getting his flamethrower going. Because he's like, maybe flamethrower?
Yeah.
Bunt gets his own little jump scare from the dog. Pumpkinhead is wreaking havoc, so Ed passes out again. And then Pumpkinhead actually shows up, and this was interesting. This was something that like I really had to do a double take. I really had to like Google the images of the creature afterwards. The creature now is starting to take on Ed's facial features.
Yeah, yeah.
It now has a defined nose,
Mhm.
and it's the whole like nose brow area is very directly Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, and they not only did a great job on the sculpt, but they benefited greatly from Lance Henriksen's just looking like Lance Henriksen. Like
That's something I noted too. Is like
a,
there's a very sharp angles of it from the lines of his nose,
yeah,
and lines of his brow, and then when they show Lance Henriksen and he's kind of going through a weird Pumpkinhead transformation of his own,
yeah,
the expression is like exactly duplicated.
yeah. They did an incredible job.
Yeah, no,
Of
10
the
out of 10.
transition.
It's
Yeah.
very cool. It's very cool. Pumpkinhead just sort of tosses Kevin aside, who's still crawling. And it looks around Ed's house trying to find Bunt because Bunt got in the fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
We show Ed has the demon's eyes. His
Yeah.
eyes have gone red and freaky. Pumpkinhead finds Bunt, and Ed gets the flamethrower functional. But then for whatever reason he resorts to attacking Pumpkinhead with a pitchfork.
Well, he gets stabbed. He's coming out, and the flamethrower gets hooked, and it swings him into the pitchfork.
And then he gets stabbed with the pitchfork.
And then
Yes.
Pumpkinhead drops Bunt because he's hurt.
Okay.
Because Ed is hurt.
I was speeding through my notes at this point
Yeah, yeah.
because the climax does move the action does move very fast in the third act.
But this is where it becomes, if it wasn't clear already, hurting Ed hurts Pumpkinhead.
Right. And Tracy picks up the flamethrower and torches Pumpkinhead, which just does not work.
No.
Flames, it turns out, do not kill Pumpkinhead. So that Ed, seeing all of this going on, goes back to his truck, and grabs his pistol.
Yeah.
And quite nobly shoots himself in the head in order to stop Pumpkinhead. And Pumpkinhead drops and then gets back up and grabs Bunt again. And at this point now, both Pumpkinhead and Ed get up and start coming after Tracy. And Tracy, kind of stuck between the two of them, turns the pistol on Ed, which she has picked up, and shoots Ed and kills him.
Yeah.
And as a result, Pumpkinhead like drops and bursts into flames.
Right.
And burns away to sad nothingness. Then we get a very brief epilogue where you see Haggis the Witch at the graveyard in Razorback Holler, lowering the sad remains of it's exactly the same prop, the withered Pumpkinhead prop.
Right.
The sad remains of Pumpkinhead into his grave, but we see that it has that little necklace that Billy gave Ed at the beginning of the film around its neck, indicating that the Pumpkinhead demon that was summoned was destroyed. Now Ed becomes the next Pumpkinhead,
Right.
when a spirit of vengeance is required again.
So
Yes.
So my take, and what I hope is true, and I haven't, again, watched the sequel, so I don't know what they decided was true after the fact, but to me, everybody that summons Pumpkinhead becomes Pumpkinhead.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
And that is the terrible price.
That makes sense to me. It's like, and it is a kind of like, if you're going for revenge, dig two graves, one for you, and
Right.
one for your enemy, and one for yourself.
Yeah.
And of course, it says the vengeance has to be kind of worth it in that kind of Count of Monte Cristo way. But I suppose even if the demon had killed all 6 of the city folk people, it would have just then burst into flames and Ed would have dropped dead.
That's
Question mark?
that's what I want to be. Like I want it to be that. I want it to be that he would have burned up and Ed would have shriveled down, and because you get your vengeance, but
Right.
now you're going to be the one that carries out
You're
somebody
the
else.
agent of vengeance in the future.
If anybody else ever even raises him, it's not.
Well, and the thing is that presumably you need somebody who's knowledgeable in these things, such as the witch Haggis, to raise the demon. So she's not going to raise the demon for somebody who would be like I don't care. I want to get my revenge. And then the demon will get revenge, and that'll be it. It's always going to be somebody who is essentially a good person the way that Ed was, and won't be able to deal with the fact that they are causing these deaths.
Yeah.
And will end up destroying themselves in order to bring an end to it.
Right.
Somewhat prematurely. You know, in that kind of what's fated to be is fated to be kind of story way.
Yeah.
So presumably Pumpkinhead's summoning always ends in a suicide. I can't wait to watch the sequels and see that completely
Yeah, they're going to
wrong
ruin
and
that.
torn to shreds and just totally ruined.
I know
it's
Haggis the
gonna be
Witch
great.
is in at least 1 or 2 of the sequels. She has
Well,
to be.
Like I said, I know Lance Henriksen is Ed Harley in 2 sequels.
It's got to be flashbacks.
One can hope.
I don't know.
I don't buy it. We'll see.
But I mean, either way, this movie I don't think gets nearly enough love. It's a textbook example of what a low budget horror movie should be.
It is, and it's what I found interesting about it was it's like Stan Winston was right. Like, this is a by the numbers creature feature slasher. This was exactly the kind of movie that he should have as his directorial debut, because he knows all the beats. It doesn't require any great artistic flourishes,
And
but it can be done very well.
Yeah, and he, I have the big like Stan Winston coffee table book about his whole career, and I reread the section on Pumpkinhead for this, and he had directed like a short teaser thing that was kind of like a proof of concept some people wanted him to do because it involved a creature, and he had done second unit for James Cameron, and which he said was a hell of a film school because James Cameron, everything had to be exactly how James Cameron wanted.
James Cameron is famously very intense.
Yeah, but he didn't get to make creative decisions, but he got to learn a lot of technical shit.
Right.
And he had done a couple of other things, but he knew he wanted to try his hand at directing. And when this script came around, he's like, I can handle this. Like, this is...
Yeah, absolutely. It's very kind of, in a lot of ways, the script is very cookie cutter and by the numbers.
Yeah, it is.
And not necessarily in a bad way.
No.
You know, a lot of slashers kind of are. It's just enough original concepts to make it interesting, to make it worthwhile, really. Yeah, like no notes, like, and it's very well executed for what it is.
Well, and he apparently it was a lot of fun to work on. Like, everybody had a blast. And Stan Winston started as an actor way back. He wanted to be an actor.
Wow.
He was into makeup and stuff, but makeup's what he was good at, and that's how he made his name and his way in Hollywood. And then that became his thing. And then he moved into, full on space. He was originally a makeup guy. Like, he was doing groundbreaking old age makeup in the 70s and shit. And
yeah, didn't he trained under Dick Smith?
Dick Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the
legend.
Yeah.
Pure
I mean,
legendary.
You go back that far, you start talking about people like Ray Harryhausen, Dick Smith, and these were who, inspired Stan Winston, but at this point, he had worked on so many movies and done so many effects and been involved in the second unit and in helping. He worked on he said he passed on E.T., which he knew was a mistake, but he passed on it and ended up working on like a movie Charles Band fucking directed for like Full Moon, some low budget garbage movie, but he said it ended up being good because on Spielberg's set, he never would have made any suggestions. He never would have said, hey, what if we tried this? Or it might look good from this angle, because that's fucking Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, no. Spielberg is famously also very controlling to the point where I believe, Toby Hooper is supposed to be the direct credit as the director on Poltergeist. And he's like, I didn't direct this movie.
No, but Charles Band gave us Puppet Master. So Stan Winston felt comfortable.
Yep.
But he made a lot of, he got involved a lot more, sort of directorially, but he made a lot of suggestions that were listened to and turned out to work really well. And so he learned to kind of trust his instincts. And he realized that he'd sort of been educated in how to be a director by all of the work he'd done. And
it picked stuff up. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so it made sense. And he did. He picked a perfect vehicle.
He really did. It really just struck me as like, this is like, it functions really well, and it does everything that it does really well, to the point where there are other films in major, slasher franchises that do not do what it does as well as it does.
No,
The plot moves at a really good pace.
you're never bored.
You're never bored. Things progress really well. There's just enough character work that you need.
Yeah.
There's not too much time spent, learning the differentiation between all these crazy kids. Friday
Right.
the 13th, who gives a shit? They're all gonna
Yeah.
get impaled or chopped to bits anyway.
And
You know?
and the monster's fun.
The monster is fun.
He's not just a mindless killer. He
There's a
taunts
little bit of
things,
there's just
plays
a little
with-
bit of personality, just
There's-
enough to make it interesting.
There's a direct King Kong reference after he kills Joel.
Yeah.
I think it's Joel. You know what I'm talking about? He plays with the head like King Kong with the T-Rex. He does the same little like floppy neck thing.
I did not pick up on that. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so there's all these little things, but
That's awesome.
it's fine with me that none of his other movies worked out because I like that Stan Winston is such a legend. And it's like, oh yeah, I can also do this. And then 2 years later, it's Terminator 2, where he gave us the birth of CGI. And,
Along with some of the greatest.
it's not his fault that it went the way it did.
No, he did it well.
Yeah.
And also that movie has some of the greatest stunts I have ever seen in
That's
done in
incredible.
live action.
And there's you got to look quick, but like when Arnold comes off the sliding diesel and hits the ground and somersaults, that entire shot is stop motion. Like there's
I mean,
so much.
he's undeniably talented.
And I'm
he
just
did a
going to
several-
keep rambling about. I'm sorry, I'm
That's fine.
interrupting you, but I'm going to ramble about Stan Winston some more.
Go for it. Go for it.
The real groundbreaking thing in Jurassic Park with the CGI.
Yes.
Originally they were going to have Phil Tippett do all the dinosaurs in stop motion.
Yeah, they were going to do go motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had worked it out and he'd done all these test things, but then fucking ILM showed Steven Spielberg a T-Rex running. He was like, nope, you gotta do it that way. And I think that Winston Studios basically were the ones that figured out how to have Phil Tippett do the animation on an armature that would then map into the CGI. So
That's
a
awesome.
lot of that movement wasn't programmed. It was done by an animator.
It was
with a
designed by an animator, yes.
physical prop, but then that movement was translated into the CGI so it would be as smooth and able to be manipulated. And it's it's crazy that in 1993 there is CGI in a movie that is 10 times better than most of the CGI we see today.
I mean, I try to recommend Jurassic Park to anybody that hasn't seen it just because it's like you don't understand. Like, this movie sold dinosaurs and dinosaur movies in a way that no other movie has. I
As
went and
ever.
saw Jurassic Park 2 and 3 in the theaters
Uh-huh.
based purely on how good Jurassic Park 1 was.
Yep.
And they were not worth it.
No, they're
Um,
fun. I rewatch them just because it's popcorn movie,
Right.
Like I'll watch Jeff
there's-
Goldblum run from monsters all day.
Right. But it's
But-
nowhere near. You just can't touch that
No,
first Jurassic
no.
Park. Like,
Well, and they lean so heavy into the CGI later on.
yes.
But in
yes.
Jurassic Park, they were very prudent. They used it where they knew it would look good. Everything that they could was practical. Like they
They had a robot T-Rex, Chris. They had a
I
full-scale robot
know.
T-Rex, and it was goddamn dangerous.
Yeah, and it kept getting soaking wet from all the fake rain and like fritzing out, trying to bite people and shit. It was incredible.
But anyway,
Anyway, Stan Winston is a god. He made Pumpkinhead. It is an all-time classic horror movie in my book.
Yes. I believe so too. I'm interested to see the rest of the films in the franchise, though I don't
Mhm.
hold great faith in them at this point. But it's definitely, I definitely enjoyed it. It's definitely one of those ones that's got that quirk factor that you sometimes get in those one-off films in the 80s,
Yeah.
where it's just like, it just hits that
Yeah.
nail right on the head.
Yeah. And in
And
the in the 80s, also the 90s, like I think of like Ticks. I love Ticks.
Sure.
As far as like low budget, fun, just well put together,
Yeah.
killer clowns. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, this is our second October
It's our second week in October. Yes.
So next week,
Next week,
trick or treat.
trick or treat.
Yeah, it
we
wasn't
should-
intended to be connected this way, but I really honestly do think that Sam is directly influenced by Pumpkinhead.
That is, I mean,
I think the face reveal of Sam has always struck me.
I think that's absolutely true. We should note it is 2007's Trick or treat. There are every
Yeah.
year I learn about 2 more movies called Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat, Trick
Yeah.
or Treat, Trick and Treat. Like so many movies are so similar in title, and they are not Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is distinctive and very good on its own.
Yes. And one of the slickest like
Anthology.
anthologies. 2 seconds ago I had that word in my head and it
I
just
know.
fell
I knew,
right
but
out.
I knew what word it was.
You knew what word it
Because
was.
Donatello knows shit.
Fuck yeah, he does.
He does machines sexually
With his bow staff.
with his bow staff. You're cool, but rude.
No.
Give me a break.
Oh yeah, no, I am party dude.
Good luck getting to sleep with that rattling around in your fucking head.
Well, I also have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coffee table book. I love coffee table books. Is the thing.
I mean, what's not to like? It's a giant book.
They're giant. The pictures are pretty.
They're so glossy.
They're so glossy and heavy.
Yes. So next is Trick or Treat. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward. I think in the first few years it was out, we watched it like every fucking year for Halloween, and we
absolutely.
kind of overdid it. And so the last few Halloweens, we've been like, should we watch it? It's like it's still so fresh in our minds, but I think it's been long enough now to get back into it.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a lot of really good people in it. And it's a lot of fun.
Honestly, it's hard
it's
to
rare
believe
to
it's almost
see.
20 years old.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
God, we're so old. So yes, but this was Pumpkinhead, and I highly recommend it.
Yes.
It's one of those
Seek it out.
movies, and everybody should see it.
And the special edition Blu-ray has a lot of awesome bonus features. Buy physical media. It's important.
Yes, yes, it is. Does it have an animated menu?
So, well, maybe it does. I think there's clips running on them.
Yay!
Yeah.
Animated menus are the best.
Yeah.
We don't get them enough. That's my contribution to this episode. Animated menus. Yay!
Yay!
All
All
right.
right.
Yes, I have been Joe.
And I've been Chris.
This has been In the Veins.
See you next time.
There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
Be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
I'm plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.